The Battlefield Reddit is a place where the community can post anything Battlefield related, including criticism and concerns that players may have about the game. Some of the criticism is warranted. In fact, in my Battlefield 6 concerns video, many of the points I've made were from the Battlefield subreddits. But unfortunately, many players within the community see the Battlefield subreddits as just a place to complain about the game non-stop. From bad takes to blind nostalgia to blatant sexism, today we will be looking at the Battlefield Reddit, more specifically r/Battlefield, r/Battlefield 6, and r/Battlefield Cosmetics. I will not be including r/OkBuddyPTFO since the point of that subreddit is to be a parody and also be satirical, meaning that the points made in that subreddit could just be interpreted as really bad jokes. However, I will be using some screenshots from OkBuddyPTFO since that's the only place I could find some of these screenshots. But before we start, I need to say a few things. First, this isn't some sort of defense for EA. EA isn't even liked within the gaming community for reasons I don't even have to explain. Second, unless I specifically state otherwise, these are all from different people who all have different opinions, criticisms, and concerns for Battlefield 6. Third, and is the most important one, do not harass the people who are in this video. Harassing people over their takes on a video game doesn't prove that you are correct. Reminder, this is for a video game. The first post we'll be looking at is this. Before Battlefield 6 was released, I had imagined fighting on large maps in a no-HUD hardcore mode, but instead the game turned into hopping around like rabbits on tiny maps, capturing flags, and it never progressed much beyond that. The real Battlefield experience should have been like Battlefield 1. You can turn off your HUD on Battlefield 6, you can play hardcore mode on Battlefield 6. In fact, one of the Friday night Battlefield events was a hardcore mode. You can make an argument about the jumping around and the tiny maps. Hardcore mode isn't even an option in the custom search. But the capturing the flags part? Well, welcome to Battlefield, where the most well-known game mode is capturing objectives. Our next post is about 2042. I love Battlefield 6, but I'm starting to miss some of the very large 2042 maps. I can't speak on behalf of the original posters since they just have nostalgia for 2042. In my opinion, it's not a problem at all. I just need to remind players that 2042 had to have its base game maps redesigned because of how bad they were. Continuing with the theme for 2042, we have this comment right here. 2042 is more of a BF game than 6 is. A lot of you guys just needed 6 to realize what you missed out on. All that hate to get a more grounded game that is boring after a few hours of play. 2042 isn't more of a Battlefield game than 6 is. And of course the game's going to get boring after a few hours. Playing any game for hours on end will get boring eventually. Here's another comment where someone says that 2042 is a better game than 6, and they bring up using your gun while parachuting. There's a chance that both these comments are bait, but who knows. Our last 2042 related post is this. I don't understand why they don't just port over the portal maps from 2042 to tide us over for a while. Caspian Border, Nosar Canal, Valparaiso, Arica Harbor. There are some bangers there with minor tweaks needed at best. Now you're probably confused on why I picked this post if it's just someone asking a question. It was because the first comment that I saw under this post was, because they are incompetent. Other people will try to explain to this commenter that it is not that easy to port over 2042 portal maps into BF6. The commenter would then say that fans don't care because they want content, and if DICE doesn't figure it out, then the game would die off, and that it was their last straw. The person they were replying to then tried to explain that community feedback from 2042 is possibly the reason why DICE didn't add enough map size variety, and that this was possibly the reason why they are now trying to make bigger maps. There was also someone else in the comments saying, in all caps, a pixel is a pixel, how hard is it? Game development isn't easy. I'm going to leave a link to an article in the description that talks about the development for Battlefield 6 for anyone who is interested. Next, we're looking at two posts made by the same person who seems to not understand what is considered realistic for a soldier to have. Both posts are nitpicking things about soldier uniforms, which isn't a problem, but they claim that the soldiers in Battlefield 6 don't have the correct scissors, and then they proceeded to post tactical scissors, despite the fact that actual real-world soldiers are not using them. They even used the soldiers having two flashlights as an example of weird skin props. And while we're on the topic of soldier designs, This AI generated image of what kind of soldiers players want to see in the game was posted when some of those soldier designs were already in the game. I made an image that parodies the original image and sent it to the OkBuddy PTFO subreddit. Because this image is AI generated, someone had to post a real image of a Ukrainian soldier wearing a poncho to prove that it's something that soldiers use in the real world. When you're trying to ask for more realistic depictions of soldiers, try to use an image of real world soldiers instead of asking AI to generate one for you, so that people like that commenter don't have to prove that it's a real thing. Even the original poster named the soldier that he was referencing, but he doesn't show the actual photo of him. Our next section is on sexism. Look, I get it. Players are disappointed that they don't have full player customization, but it doesn't mean to be sexist about it. There was a collaboration going on between 511 and Battlefield where if you spent a certain amount of money on 511 products, then you will get an in-game skin. Players were excited for this skin, but of course, players realized the character it was for is a woman. In a post that claims the 511 skin is only a good skin because it's based on 511 products, and that DICE can't make good soldier designs, there was someone in the comments trying to make it about the fact that the in-game skin is a woman. There's other posts and comments that are also just sexist or just complaining that there's women in Battlefield 6. There's one post I want to highlight and it's this. Do you think Battlefield has good foundation but ruined by ideology? The post doesn't specify what they're referring to, but I think we all know what they were trying to say. One commenter posted, Battlefield 6 is woke AF. All female characters look like pure lesbians. I want to be clear, I do not hate lesbians, but having some feminine skins would be cool. I know a lot of female soldiers IRL that still look feminine. Plus, we have decodification. I know I would be downvoted, and honestly, I don't know why, because it's a real fact in many aspects of the game now. Ideology didn't add weapon bloom, smaller maps, and a long weapon progression. Okay, so that was the end of the video. This wasn't supposed to be an exhaustive list of all the bad posts from the Battlefield Reddit community, and I want to try to finish this video up when Season 2 begins, which is less than an hour away from the time of me recording this. There was one more section I wanted to include, but I decided that I'm going to make that into its own separate video. If you like this video, then you may leave a like. If you dislike, then you may dislike. And if you want to see more videos in the future, then you may subscribe. Just remember, boys rule and girls drool. COD movement players, yellow tape, and among other things. Okay, I will go now.